I've been lucky to bring a couple films here, and now that I have, I know to try and wait to see the movie until you see it with this audience, which I'm about to do.
Be surprised at the same time. Let's talk a little bit about Netflix, this platform that just seems to be taking over everything. How great was it to be able to work with them?
Look, they're an extraordinary company for so many reasons, obviously, but what it is that they're doing, which is most remarkable, is that they're just giving filmmakers the ability to make their movies, and then they're wonderfully hands-off. They say, look, we chose you to do it, go do it, and then bring it back. And it's really interesting because it's allowing these movies like this one that aren't getting made otherwise to come to life, and then it gives them an inherent, extraordinary 100 million person audience, to find it. So it's cool.
A binge-watching audience like myself. Thank you so much.
Totally. David Waters was this Texas guy who was a dark character to begin with. He was raised, his mother was a prostitute. He was killed somebody early on in the teenage years. He was a violent, strange guy, but he was also extremely smart and charming. He listened to National Public Radio before he would go rob a bank. And I mean that literally. He was just this a mix of conundrums and really interesting.
It seems like you've done a lot of research on your character. Like, how was that process for you?
Well, he's dead. He died in prison because of this crime and because of other crimes that he'd done. And so he was truly. So it was interesting to go back and try and figure out and see, the photographs and see anything I could hear from him. And there was a couple interviews that he had done that I could listen to, and just try and take in as much information as I could, and then just tell the story. And a lot of that comes down to the joy of working with Melissa Leo, a ferociously intense and great partner on camera.
Did you experience any pressure, like playing a character who was based on a real person, and how did you feel?
I think every time you play a character, my favorite character I ever played was Don Haskins, who's the great Texas Western coach, El Paso, Texas, who I would spend time with Don, and Don to me was like, he was not just a friend, he was a figure who it really mattered to me how I portrayed him and how he wanted me to portray him. And that's a very different story from someone like David Waters, where you're doing, you're playing a character who's dead, but also is a pretty horrible person. So you're trying to capture that side of him, as opposed to in the Haskins case, where you're trying to capture a man who you love. So it's a very interesting thing to do. I really like that challenge.
And is there anything you hope audiences learn, especially if they have not been familiar with this case before?
I think anyone who's watching the story will be probably pretty amazed by the politics of it all. But this angry, lonely woman who had no power and no money was able to take her anger and her frustration with a certain idea all the way to the Supreme Court and change the politics of America. And that's the amazing thing that Obama and Gandhi and people say. It really just takes one person, and you don't have to be powerful. You don't have to have money. It's just about this incredible belief and drive that she had. That's a cool element to the story, and then obviously all the different faulty failings of being a human being go along with that. In her case, probably more than most stories.